What's up, guys? This is Acid Roots. I've got a Meek Mill mixtape review to talk about, which is the first Dreamchasers. Now, I mentioned Meek Mill a lot last year, but I haven't really messed with him in a little while. And the thing is he's dropping an album Friday. It's called Wins and Losses, and the thing is, he's dropped 4 Dreamchasers projects, and I wanted to cover the extent of some of these. I'm going to start featuring some more mixtapes. Basically, since about the middle of spring, I've been downloading mixtapes and going through the best songs to really vibe to and just drink a soda to, do whatever. And there's a lot of songs in here that just remind me of some great car music, travel music, and getting crunk music, these sorts of things. Is having a great night. And even though a lot of the mixtapes that I'm going to review are from like 2011, 2013, some of these are still better than some of the stuff that's going on. And I've noticed that there's people like Lil Yachty popping up, Young Thug popping up, Vic Mensa, some of these people. We've got a bunch of folks who are just on their first or possibly second album, some folks who are really newcomers to the scene, and I've noticed that some of the quality feels different because they're not collaborating with the same people that people just 4 or 5 years older are collaborating with. So for me to jump on the train, I need someone to vouch for the fact that they're actually good. That's my problem with the new generation. Rick Ross basically jumped all over this Dreamchasers 1 project, and Meek Mill got the cosign from Rick Ross. So that was how I got introduced to Meek Mill, was through Rick Ross. Now, the newcomers nowadays are just not doing that. Young Thug tried to do it with Lil Wayne, but Lil Wayne didn't take too kindly to it. So it just really comes down to, for me to jump on the train, I need to know some of the older heads that are liking it. But this album, when it came out, or this mixtape, when it came out in 2011, the funny thing about it is, just like Rick Ross's Rich Forever, which I reviewed a couple years ago, this one is completely, lit. I guess, for lack of a better phrase. I need to catch up on some, words for saying hot. But yeah, over half this album is great for a mixtape CD, just vibing to in your backyard, your garage, places that you might want to be at and chill at. It's brilliant. And this album was supported by 2 singles, the first of which actually charted, and it's called House Party. Now, this is, given the name of the song, it's a brilliant song, and the beat is hot also. The lyrics go in. Meek Mill lets you know what he's about when he heads to a house party or something, and, this is grand. There are not too many songs that take on this reference. I'm a Boss is the second single, but I don't really recommend getting this song on this project as much as I do on Self-Made Volume 1, because it gives you a reason to actually purchase that album. And, Self-Made had Rick Ross on there. He was more kind of executive producing it more so than actually featured, but he did drop some verses. He drops a verse on I'm a Boss, and Rick Ross is on here at least 3 times. And funny thing is that was one of the reasons at first that I was heading for this project. But I didn't really mess with it in the past. But ever since I've been messing with Meek Mill, I kind of decided, some of these. Obviously, I think he's a folk who can drop a hot mixtape. Yo Gotti's on here. A couple extra cats who I don't really know that well are on here. But all right, let's get to the best moments, the 9 songs that you need to hear. Derrick Rose is probably the best song on here that's not a single. House Party is probably the best song on here. Get This Money is a great song to listen to when driving. Body Count has Rick Ross on there, and that's pretty good. Work has Lex Luger, which I appreciate him as a producer. I'm still somewhat obsessed with Waka Flocka, so that beat's okay, but it still is better than a lot of what you're hearing, or what I've been hearing. Sparkles is great. Don't Panic with Yo Gotti is hot. You know, a lot of these just work, but I'll list the 9 songs. So House Party, Get This Money, I'm a Boss, Body Count, Tony Montana Freestyle, Work, Derrick Rose, Don't Panic, Sparkles. All those you want to hear. There's some extra stuff. I mean, there's some freestyles on here, and you may or may not want to hear those, but really the only one I was really checking for was just the Tony Montana freestyle. So, as it were, I give this album basically a 6.5 out of 10, which, you know, considering it's free, you know, there's no reason to not download this. I know it's 6 years old, but, you know, we're reaching a point where there are such things as classic mixtapes. So, and they're not all freestyles, you know, this is actually original material that is a great uh, mixtape experience, or not mixtape, looking for the right word. Yeah, just a great experience, car experience, going out experience. So subscribe for more fun.